The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. This statement sounding by Martin Luther King. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank for our Almighty God for being given me a very good opportunity and a fine health. Second of all, I'd like to thank for the judges and all commit English speech competition who have given me a very good opportunity for to tell you all about open the world by surrounding education, writing and speaking up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before continuing my speech, I will introduce myself. My name is Imada Cahya Septianingsih. I'm from Central Java. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, education is a process of learning, knowledge, skills, and habits of a group of people passed down from one generation to the next through research, training, and teaching. Education is one of the important axes in educating the nation's children. Education is also one of the main provisions that must be possessed by a child, so they have competent knowledge and skills in order to compete in the world of work and free from poverty. But unfortunately, most developing countries has obstacles that must be corrected to that, including, first of all, children with disabilities. In the theoretically stated that education is the right of all people throughout the world, but in the reality there are still children with disabilities who cannot go to school. Why? Because they are refused or unable to afford. Discrimination and lack of training in inclusive teaching methods for teachers cause inhibiting factor for people with disabilities. And then very far school distance. There are still many children in the world who find it difficult to study because in this distance is still too far. And then especially nutrition that must be fulfilled. Ladies and gentlemen, good nutrition is a very important preparation to be prepared because children can absorb, listen well if they consume healthy and nutrition. And last, expensive education costs. Expensive education costs are an example for the main obstacles to education in the world. From this from example of problem that have been described previously, it can be concluded that education is one of very significant things in human life. Therefore, according to James H. Palladin, states that the function of education in society it follow first the function of socialization, second selection and allocation exercise function, third the function of innovation and social changes. And so based on the function of education, educators, especially the younger generation, must have a good strategy, especially to be able to face the era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0, which will take place in the 21st century, where everything involves technology. So, ladies and gentlemen, therefore, the role of educators, especially the younger generation, is needed. Some strategies that can be carried out by young people and educators are using digital literacy wisely, because this one of the strategies to be able to survive and adapt in the era the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Digital literacy is knowledge and skills to be able to use digital media, communication tools and networks is finding, evaluating, making information and using it wisely, healthy, intelligently, accurately, and precisely, and not breaking the law in order to build and foster communication and literacy in daily life. Ladies and gentlemen, young people who are accustomed to living side by side with technology would be able to make new breakthroughs and be able to contribute to the environment, especially amid the COVID pandemic 19. The generation can keep abreast of new developments and can provide useful information so that technological literacy effort can run optimally in Indonesian society. Competencies that must be possessed by the younger generation in preparing for Industrial 4.0 era include the ability to solve problems, adapt, collaboration, leadership, creativity, and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, be a useful generation of young people. Start working, read a lot and write so the other people can know what you think. And then how to be able to consistently read and write? First, you have to try. Second, you have to force yourself to continue to do it. And then you have to work not to make things heavy, and last you have to force yourself to read and write, because if you just follow the interest it won't work. Ladies and gentlemen, be a young generation who willing and able to be a driver, an agent of change, because the changes that are made continuously will lead you to be a better life. If we change words, we can change the world, said Ustad Yusuf Mansur. This means, what do strategies mean if they are kept alone without being implemented, written, or discussed with others? Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the mistakes. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.